Look at this Fuji ninjaism.
I think so. You're in the quarter, in the
Am I
thirds.
beautiful?
You're beautiful. And the there you go.
Wait, let's check the focus one more time.
Okay, focused. Staying focused, staying focused.
There's a bright white light. Okay, this is our first mistake-a-thon. Each week after we release a video, we're going to do a post-game analysis. So let's get to it. Each week after we release a video, we're going to take you through all the mistakes we made, maybe play some of the horrendous footage that we did not use, walk you through the slightly less horrendous footage that we ended up using, learn how to do things better, make good on the promise I made in my initial video, which is to show you all of the mistakes as I learn. So not only am I learning from my mistakes, you get to as well. So this is the original intro that we recorded. I have to say, I really like the way the background looks and the lighting, but as you will soon see, the performance is a little bit on the weak side. Hi, welcome to my first video. My name is Dylan Johnston, and this is my first video of my newly revived... Hi, my name is Dylan Johnston. Hello, my name is Dylan Johnston. And it goes on like this. So we decided to record a different one. For this intro video, during the planning phase, Darlene and I wanted to do something to sort of mix it up into 3 separate camera angles, which sounds simple at first. It turns out to be way more complicated than that. And you can see on the timeline how we broke it up. So the orange is the first wide shot. The pink is our medium shot, I guess you would call it, near my truck. And then there's the close-up shot in green. And so the way that we shot this was all the orange ones we shot all together. We skipped over the parts in the script where the other shots were, and then we moved in closer to get these shots, and then last we did these by the truck. This is the first time either of us had done anything like this, so we were not really aware of some of the continuity problems that would come into play. I'll give you an example of that. We go from this section, which is the pink. Up until a year and a half ago, I was homeless. I've been doing photography for about a decade. I've always assumed it would... There's a couple things that I immediately noticed when I started to cut this edit together. The intonation changes between the pink and the green are pretty noticeable. I go from a sort of more upbeat tone to like low key, and it's very noticeable. Also, something that's probably harder to avoid is just the way the sound comes through. Like I sound closer to the camera because I was closer to the camera in these shots, and that is kind of jarring when it switches like that. The other thing I found when I was cutting it together was I wish that we had established which shots worked well at that time and either deleted the bad stuff or made notes. Some kind of field notes would have been super helpful. We had this sort of mantra, which was, I can clean it up in the edit. But the amount of time it takes to clean up things, like to take out ums and to remove bad takes, is really significant. And so the other thing I would do is I would record it in the same way that you would see on a film set. You go action and you film your take and then cut. you know, the shots we had, there was all sorts of talking at the beginning, and then the actual good stuff, and then some shit at the end. That made it really not difficult, but the time investment to edit was just much greater. So if you notice, we filmed at sunset, and we filmed this series that is on screen right now, the very last. And so the sun was dipping below the horizon as we were filming, and so the light changed throughout that whole thing. And it would look weird enough if you went from the beginning of a video to the end and it got darker and darker. But the worst part is we had to intersperse these clips between other clips that were filmed earlier, and so the light difference is really apparent when you cut from one shot to another, and we just hadn't even considered that as a factor. I would try to correct a little bit for it, but it's just impossible to fix it completely. Hey YouTube, this is my newly revived channel. My name is Dylan Johnston. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. It's amazing how hard it is to say your name on camera. I could not believe how many tries it took, and it still sounds weird. I don't know if it actually comes off weird. Also, I could not get over trying to get my hat straight. Do you remember how many times I asked you if my hat was straight? And my hat's still not fucking straight. Look at it. Okay. I've been doing photography for about a decade. I've long had an interest in anything to do with moving pictures. I don't know what happened, but the audio on our first set of shots was really good. And then when we got close, I've been doing photography for about a decade. High-pitched hiss, and the audio is really weird, which doesn't make a lot of sense because we were using a lapel mic. The audio shouldn't have really been different. I don't know if we forgot to turn the audio to the lapel mic. Maybe we're actually recording out of the Blackmagic's microphones. I have no way of knowing that now. As far as I know, the Blackmagic Pocket 4K does not record any of that data to the files, like what source it was recording audio from. If I'm wrong, please correct me, because I would love to know that. I've always assumed it was an absurd pipe dream to become a filmmaker. But in the past year and a half... There's also... So I cut a bunch of stuff out of these takes, and if you watch in the background, you can see that the fog ruins the continuity. The cuts are pretty clean, but you can tell immediately that they're big jumps because the fog, or I think it's smoke from the fire, moves around. I've dreamed to become a filmmaker. But in the past year and a half, for the first time, I have shot for a dream, and it actually came true. This channel is going to be a venue in which I can express myself. It's also going to trace my development from making stupid videos about my dog and my friend drifting his truck to professional videos that hopefully have some social impact and importance. In other words, I'm going to document my process of becoming a filmmaker. So a few things here. I noticed that the way that this is scripted and my performance of it, I love writing, but I'm a really didactic writer, and it doesn't play well when it's performed. The videos that draw me in are snappy, and this video is not that. For example, okay, I like the Batman things too. That's my second favorite part of this video. For example, I'm related to physics. Luckily, physics collides neatly with photography, which is just as much about optics and light. Optics. Another thing I might do in the future, get multiple takes of things or review them. The problem is with the Blackmagic, you can barely hear the audio when you replay it, so probably getting multiple takes would be good, or having headphones so you can replay your takes and make sure that they're good. Because a mistake like that, there's no way to edit that, so I just had to go with it and mock it. go up. Now, enjoy this title sequence that I made in a caffeine-induced stupor in one night while teaching myself Adobe After Effects. Another thing that couldn't be fixed because we only did one take of each thing, I do these mannerisms, like in that one, I did this. And it would have been great to have another take where I didn't do that, but we didn't, so just had to use it. Yeah, I think that's it. So thank you for sitting through me with this first mistake-a-thon, or whatever the hell we end up calling it. I'm hoping that this is really instructive for people, and if not, it was really useful for me. So thanks for watching, and hit subscribe, thumbs this video up, and comment if you like the video or if you hated it. Either way, leave a comment. Thanks.